Hello and welcome to Boundaries 101. I am Dr. Anna Margolina. I am a hypnotherapist, master NLP or neurolinguistic programming practitioner, NLP trainer, and Qigong instructor. Today, this presentation is going to be very interactive. You are going to do some mental activities, and I highly recommend doing them because they, better than anything else, will allow you not only understand, but also use the practices and the processes that I'm going to give you. And if you stick with me until the end, I will guide you through a powerful process that I use for myself and I give all my clients for building better boundaries. But first, why do we need boundaries? Maybe we don't. Just like balloons, people look better, they work better, they feel better, and they are much more fun when they are fully inflated. Think back of a time when you were in this fully inflated state. Maybe you were excited, maybe you were inspired, maybe you were in love. And when you are in this state, when you are filled with vibrant and radiant life force, step into this memory and be there with your entire body and notice how it influences you. And now compare it to times when you are like this, when you are deflated. And notice that when you are in this state, even getting out of bed in the morning can be a challenge. Now, do you have a dream? Do you have a goal? Do you have something that you really want to accomplish? Think about one thing that you really want to do. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to start your own business. Or maybe you want to learn French. Or maybe you want to finally find the special person with whom you will travel through life. And now look at your typical day. Look at your typical week and ask yourself this question. Where are you going to put all those activities, all those steps that you know you have to take in order to take this dream from being something abstract to something that you make real? A lot of people are so overwhelmed, so stressed, and they stack their schedule so high that no way they can add anything else. So if we cannot add more time, we know that we all have only 24 hours, then how can we accomplish our goals and dreams? How can we start taking real action steps? Well, imagine that staying uplifted is very easy. So what do you need to do to spend more time in a fully uplifted state and less time in a deflated state? First, you need to breathe some life into yourself and every action step. Notice that if you just breathe life into the space, you will be just wasting your breath because this space is very big. So you need a container. You need something into which you are going to pour your energy. And if this container leaks, then you are going to spend much more effort than needed. Let's imagine, what if there is no effort? What if you just stay uplifted without any effort? Even under pressure, would it be beneficial? This is why we need boundaries. So let's begin. Take a deep breath and imagine a house. It could be any house. Maybe a house that you live in now, or just a house that you want to have one day. And now, open your eyes. What kind of house you imagined? I'm going to use my special powers. And I'm going to guess. A house that you imagined had windows, right? Walls, and at least one door. Yes, of course, because if this house had no windows and no doors, it would not be a house, it would be a box. And if this house had no walls, it would not be a house, it would be outdoors. Now let's pretend that you are children. And let's pretend that you never heard this story that I am going to tell you. So sit back, relax, and let's listen to a story about the 3 little pigs. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs, and they lived all together with their mom. One day, they decided they were grown up enough, and they wanted to leave their house and go out into the world and build a house for themselves. One pig said, well, I don't want to work hard, and I want my house to be light and bright. And so he built a house out of straw. The next pig said, well, I want to have a little bit of more security. And he built a house out of wood. And the third pig said, well, I want my house to be very, very strong and very secure. And he built a house out of bricks. And one day, there was a big bad wolf walking through the forest. And the wolf was feeling hungry. And he came across a house built out of straw. And he said, "Ooh, I can smell pig, bacon." And he wanted to play a little big. And he said, "I'm going to huff, I'm going to puff, and I'm going to blow this house down." And he huffed and he puffed. And it didn't take him long. He blew the house down, and poor little pig ran really, really fast. And just in time, he was able to run into the house made out of wood, and they locked the door. But the wolf was right there. Two pigs, a bigger meal. I'm going to huff, I'm going to puff, and I'm going to blow this house down. And he did. It took him a little bit, but he did. And two little pigs were running really, really, really fast. Just in time, they ran into a house made out of bricks, and they locked the door. And a big bad wolf said, "I am going to huff, I am going to puff, because now I have this delicious 3-pig dinner or lunch." And he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed. And after a while, 3 little pigs just put on a kettle, poured themselves a cup of tea, and they were sitting around the table, laughing and listening to the big bad wolf on the outside. And one pig turned to another and said, "Well, some people are relentless when they want to bring you down." This is me and my dog, Sand. And I am so glad that my dog and I, we both have skin. Because even though we are so different, and she has fur, and I have my human skin, we can hug, we can play. And even after she rolls in some dirt, I still can touch her without fear. If my skin were very sensitive, if I had allergies, or if I had wounds, I could not play with my dog. So a lot of people, they think, "Oh, but boundaries are going to separate me from people, and I want to be very intimate with my friends, with my lovers, even with clients often." But in fact, the opposite is true, because boundaries is what allow people to get very, very close without getting under each other's skin. Now, take a deep breath and close your eyes and ask yourself this very simple question: where do you end? And just sit there and breathe with your eyes closed. And feel and observe, where are your boundaries? When I started working as a hypnotherapist, I soon discovered that I had a problem. I was so easily overwhelmed when I worked with clients, because often people go through something very emotional. Sometimes they want to tell you a story. And I felt I was pulled right into their stories, and I felt every emotion. And by the end of the day, I was exhausted. So take a deep breath and open your eyes. So I asked a more experienced hypnotherapist, how do I deal with it? And she asked, and she told me to do exactly this. She said, Anna, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And let's do it again. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. And notice your skin. Imagine you are caressing your skin with your consciousness. And you notice that your skin feels very differently on the tip of your nose, on the tip of your toes. But also notice that you do not end with your skin. There is something intangible, something that extends beyond your skin. Take another deep breath and open your eyes. What did you notice? So when I felt into this part of me which is beyond skin, I said, I am unlimited. I'm as big as the universe. And I was very proud of my answer. And my teacher said, yes, this is very good. But now, Anna, imagine your client. Where do you end and they begin? So take another deep breath and close your eyes again. And this time, imagine another human being. Can you tell where you end and they begin? And what is the difference between your energy and their energy? Take a deep breath and open your eyes. What did you notice? Well, I noticed that I did not have any boundaries. So if you now look around with new eyes, as if you see everything for the first time, and notice that every object has boundaries. This is why we can separate different objects from their background. And this is how we can tell that we are separate from other people. So boundaries can be external and internal, material and energetic, genetic and conditioned, personal and professional, cultural and individual, familiar and intimate. And now let's focus on energy boundaries. And let's introduce a concept of spiritual property. Energy boundaries define your spiritual property. Boundaries are there for a reason. First, they separate the inside and the outside, just like a house has walls, windows, and doors. Just like your skin separates you from the outside. The same is with your energy boundaries. Protect the inside, just like your house, just like your skin. Your energy boundaries protect your spiritual property. Allow storing on the inside, just like your house, just like your skin. And the same is with your mind. You need to have boundaries so you could store something, your knowledge, your experiences, your memories. Organize the inside, just like your house has rooms and shelves and boxes and closets, just like your body has organs. The same, your mind has structures, your beliefs, your perceptions, your ideas, your past, your future, your present, your dreams, your goals. And we all are different. No two minds are the same. And finally, they create a space you can develop and decorate, just like you can decorate the inside of your house, just like you can decorate your body. The same way you can develop your mind, you can develop your spiritual property. In order to do this, you need boundaries. Energy matters. It's not bad or wrong, but there are consequences for poor boundaries. And let's check. Let's take a deep breath and notice that we have all of it. The question is, to what degree? So rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being like practically never, and 10 all the time. First, you often feel emotionally overwhelmed, just like I felt when I just started working with clients. I was overwhelmed. Critical comments get under your skin. Check. That was a big problem. And this created a lot of fear. I could not move forward. You may feel drained after talking to certain people. You know what people I'm talking about. Yes. You cannot say no, and you live under pressure to always say yes. Yes, I used to pile things to do on my plate so high they kept spilling over, and I could hardly have time to breathe. And yet I would say, yes, yes, I can do it. And you often feel annoyed, irritated, or upset, and you tend taking things personally. A lot of people who are very kind, who are very empathic, they say, but Anna, I like it that I feel everything. I want to feel everything. I don't want any of your boundaries. Let's go back to the very beginning and think of all those internal states which make you feel uplifted. And if you imagine it, this pure well, pure source of vibrant, radiant energy, which you can use to fuel, to power up your dreams and your goals, wouldn't you want to keep it clean and pure? Just because you're kind doesn't mean you have to drink other people's poison. It's okay to have boundaries. Another metaphor that you can use, my skin is very sensitive. If I'm not careful and I'm under the sun, I turn into a boiled lobster and my skin starts peeling off. I am all red. But if I put some sunscreen on my skin, which has at least 30, at least SPF of 40, then I'm safe. I'm safe. 50 is even better. Then I can just frolic under the sun. So think about, what if you could protect your energy skin using EPF, energy protection factor? Would it be beneficial? So don't you think it's time to take your power back? let's go to practical steps. There are 5 steps that you would want to use if you want to really build boundaries. First, very obvious, you have to separate the inside and outside. Next, protect the inside. Next, bring your treasures inside. Take the garbage out. And finally, very important, you have to apply all those steps to yourself and others. First, separate the inside and the outside. It seems very easy, but it's not. And I will explain why. For now, just let's have a rule that you own what you create with your mind. But other people also own what they create with their own mind. So now why it's not so easy? Because many people believe that if they feel it, it's real, and they have no choice but to feel it, and they make it mean something. So now, let's just take another deep breath and go back to the beginning of time when our ancestors didn't have much of language. They communicated mostly with grunts and gestures and facial expressions. And it was very important to understand, to have something that would tell you how another person is feeling. So we have structures which are very, very old, much older than our logical brain. First, mirror neurons. Just imagine them as mirrors in your brain. Every time you watch a movie with something very exciting on the screen, maybe there is high-speed chase, and you feel your body getting excited. It's because you have mirrors, or if you see people on the screen exchanging this romantic, sumptuous kiss, the same thing. You have mirrors, which gives you some idea what those people are feeling, just based on what they do. Next is limbic resonance. This is even more spooky. This is only recently discovered mechanism. If you imagine underneath your neocortex, which is a powerful structure that you use to think, to be logical, to accumulate knowledge, underneath there is your limbic brain, and this is the heart of your brain. This is a part of your brain that is responsible for your emotions. So this part knows how to enter a resonance, how to groove together, how to vibrate with other human beings. The downside of it, that if you are very gifted in this area, you also may be picking up other people's emotional states. And it's a wonderful skill. But let's imagine that other person is very angry with you. If you take this anger into your body, it may feel that this is your anger, but it's not. You're just picking up somebody else's vibrations. And finally, synesthesia. This is very rare. Not everybody knows how to do it. So you probably know there are people who can listen to music and they see it as colors. How amazing it is. So now imagine the same with words, with voice, with intonation. What we are talking about is two senses fused together. So you can hear a voice and feel it in your body. So if you imagine, if you are a child and you are very gifted in this area, you have mirror neurons. You are very good at limbic resonance, and you also translate immediately voice into feelings. And if another human being, especially a person you love, is angry with you, yelling at you, it could be very, very painful. So what can you do about it? Not much, because you are going to feel it. But it's very important to separate and to be very, very clear. This is not my energy. This is not a part of me. I'm just picking up something from the outside. Just like if you open your windows and you have some of the rain entering your room, and then you close a window and you are dry and warm again. So next, it's very important to commit to protecting the inside, because your neurology is your technology. So think of your brain, think of your neurons as your technology, just like inside your phone. And everything you think, everything you do, everything you feel, you create using your technology. They are real physical organs. They are vulnerable. And every time you feel a feeling, your whole body is based in neurochemistry of this feeling. If you are filled with joy, if you are filled with laughter, if you are inspired, if you are relaxed, if you are calm, your body just feels better. And if you are perpetually grumpy and angry and sad and tormented with everything, every cell in your body is feeling it. So it's very important to just decide, I'm going to take care of your body. If you think that this energy that you need to do everything you want to accomplish your dreams and your goals, this energy is generated in your body. So you have technology, your lungs and your heart and your gut, which is built for manufacturing energy. And inside every cell, there is a chamber of light, which makes energy. Would you like to protect this very important inner space? So now you separated the inside and the outside. You decided that you're going to protect the inside, because this is important. You now understand that every time you feel, Your neurology has to do something. It has to produce neurochemistry, and it influences your internal organs, and it affects your energy. So now it's time to start bringing your joy, your laughter, your love, your pleasure on the inside. So what gives you joy? And how you can have more of it. This picture is me when I went to Thailand and I studied Qigong. Qigong is an ancient discipline which is all about energy and how to move it in your body and how to create more of it. And through those studies, I learned that our energy is very, very real. And it's very important to manage it. So in order to do this, you have to learn how to be mindful, not mindful, but mindful. So in our life, the reason why it seems that we are so busy and so often we feel that we are pulled into many directions because our mind is so scattered. There is a lot that battles trying to get our attention. And every time we become emotionally invested, then we start putting our energy into this thing on the outside. If we are not mindful about it, it's very easy to end up tired, depleted, and exhausted. So mindfulness is bringing yourself home. And when you bring yourself home, what about this home? If you imagine you are coming home and your house is very dirty because the doors and the windows were open and people were coming there and leaving their garbage, dumping the toxic emotions on you. And now it's so dirty that you don't want to be there. So you start looking for distractions. You start looking for entertainment, but you don't clean the house. So think about it. This is a much pleasant image, I know. Think about your mind as your garden. And in any garden, there are weeds. They're not bad. We need some of them in our garden, but we don't want to water them. They are going to grow. The same is with our negative feelings. Yes, we need them. It's impossible to be positive all the time, but there is no reason to hold on to them or water them or feed them. Otherwise, you won't have any space for beautiful flowers. And when I work with clients, I give them many techniques for releasing this toxic and negative energy. But one thing you can start doing, and it's so easy, it's grounding. Really just step outside. You don't even need to take your shoes off. You can do it even if you have shoes. It's mostly your intention. If you put your feet on the ground and mentally connect to the ground and imagine deep roots growing into the earth, and just breathe with intention and allow, let's just imagine it for a moment. Take a deep breath and imagine being in some beautiful nature place. And here you are with your feet touching the earth. And imagine deep roots growing into the earth. And with every breath, inhale earth energy in and exhale all the stresses, all the old negative feelings, frustration, upsets, irritation, grudges, resentment, doubts, whatever feels like it's interfering with your joy. Or you picked it from other people because you are sensitive. You are very gifted in feeling other people's feelings. So with every breath, just say, this is not my energy. I release it into the earth. And take a deep breath and open your eyes. Now, finally, it's very important to apply to self and other people. It's important to know where do you end, but it's also important to know where other people begin. It's very important to understand that you are the master of your mind. You are the queen or the king in your castle, but so is another person. It's very important to protect your inside. It's so important to also respect the sanctuary of other people's minds. It's very important to keep bringing your treasures on the inside and do things which give you joy. It's also important to understand that if another person is feeling good, let them feel good. There are a lot of people who will try to steal your joy, and I am guilty myself of stealing other people's joy because I did not respect the sanctuary of their mind. When I look at all the changes that I created because I learned how to build better energy boundaries, I cannot believe it. I look back and I see how I was overwhelmed with other people's feelings to a point when I would become numb and disconnect and hide in my shell. So now I can be present. Now I can connect deeply. I look back and I remember how I would deplete and exhaust myself. And now I fill my cup first, so I could pour more to serve more people. And I do remember how I used to dump my negative emotions on other people because I could not control them. So now I learn to respect other people's minds, their spiritual property. And what it gives you is, it gives you freedom to live your best life and confidence to be your true self. So in a moment, we will go into a meditation, a process where I will guide you through a simple process of building energy boundaries. But before I do this, I know we covered a lot of ground. And if you want to know more, first I wrote a book, Women Are Like Earth. And it's all about treating yourself as the land and making sure that you take care of your land so you could blossom. And it has lots of processes, very useful. If you go to annamargolina.com, you can download a free chapter with a powerful process, the inner smile. And you can start doing it. And if you want to go deeper, you can schedule a free call. And then we can talk more. So now let's switch gears and let's move into a meditation. We covered a lot of ground. So let's just take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And if you feel comfortable doing it, you can close your eyes, or you can just watch and then do it on your own. So take a deep breath, exhale and close your eyes. And just notice your body. Notice that you are an individual because you have a body. If your energy would be just scattered everywhere, it would be very, very difficult to be a human being. So just imagine there is gentle energy of relaxation flowing from the top of your head, down your face, and all over your body. And feel into your skin. Look into your skin and listen into your skin. And just appreciate the fact that you have skin. And then imagine, just like your skin, if you had some boundary. Let's imagine a bubble. So take a deep breath and open your eyes. So we are going to imagine a bubble. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. So imagine a bubble all around you. And notice that you can place inside it everything which is you, all your treasures, your joys, music that you love, food that you enjoy, people you love, your treasured memories, your values, your beliefs, your gifts, your treasures. And notice that your energy has its special vibration, special flavor. There is not another human being on earth which has the same energy. So just imagine that you're using your special gifts to really notice your unique energy. And then imagine there is another human being and make them small. So take a deep breath, but keep the imagination going as you open your eyes. So you are going to imagine them that small inside a bubble, floating. And if you can see it, you imagine seeing it. If you cannot see it, just know it's there. So take another deep breath and close your eyes. So now you are in a bubble. And here is another human being, somebody you know. They are in a bubble as well. And now imagine you are kind of peeking inside the bubble. And you notice, oh, inside their bubble, they have everything which is their treasures. Music they love, food they enjoy, their favorite memories, their joy, their people they love, their values, their beliefs, their memories, their gifts, and also, of course, their mistakes, their lessons. And notice it's very different from yours. The energy is very different. Even if you are in a very close relationship with them, the energy is very different. So take a deep breath again and open your eyes and keep the imagination going. So here you are in a bubble with all your treasures, and another person is in their bubble with their joys, loves, with everything that is them, the unique energy. And now take another deep breath and close your eyes again. And now imagine, if you want to love them, if you want to connect, you imagine a bridge going from your heart to their heart. And put a guard on the bridge. Even though you love them, but we all have moments when we become very toxic. And just because you love them, you do not have to drink the poison. You can have a little bit so you know what is the experience. You don't have to take all of it in. Now, if you take another deep breath and open your eyes, and imagine yourself going into your future, doing this process better and better. How would it influence your relationship with people? Now take another deep breath and close your eyes. And now imagine there is maybe some spiritual being, if you are spiritual, maybe a spiritual guide or an angel, or maybe your higher self. And imagine this entity checking your energy and noticing if there is anything that is not yours, that does not belong to you, and is there, just got stuck there. And imagine exhaling with every exhale and returning to whoever energy it is. You can also imagine putting it into a beautiful gift box or an envelope and sending it to them. You can imagine just releasing it to the earth, knowing that this is your spiritual property and you want it to be enjoyable. You want to have good energy. You want to have enough energy to do everything that you believe is worthy of doing. And take another deep breath and open your eyes. Now we started with this. If you keep practicing the tools, if you will practice this way of thinking, if you keep developing the sense that there are emotional states which feed your soul, which you can use to brighten your spirit and to give yourself much more energy, and the emotional states which drain you, those tools will be your magic key, which would allow you to do more and to enjoy doing it. So have fun practicing it. And if you have questions, go to annamargolina.com and we will talk. Have a wonderful day.